Tell me the truth. Have you ever even heard of lamb bacon before? Well, neither had I until you guys flooded my beef bacon video with lamb bacon ideas, and I, of course, just had to figure out how to make it. What I've learned after making all of these bacon recipes is that the cure is almost always the same. It consists of a 50-50 mix of sugar and salt, well, almost 50-50 for most of them, and then a little bit of curing salt, and then whatever seasonings you're going to put in it. The lamb seasonings are very reminiscent of the holidays. A lot of yummy flavors like cloves, nutmeg, allspice, bay leaves, and then curing meat is always a time-consuming process. So you have to, one, have patience, and two, have a love for cooking. Because if you don't, all of the steps can seem really daunting, but I promise you, it turns out so much better than store-bought bacon. And for me, knowing exactly what's in the food that I'm eating is like top of the priority list. It was actually really hard to find lamb belly anywhere, so I ended up having to get lamb plate, and I had to cut the meat off of the bone. I cured the meat in the refrigerator for about 4 days, flipping it every single day. You can see that the cure is working because all of the liquid is pooling at the bottom of the bag. The thicker your slab is, the more days it needs in the fridge. These are pretty thin, so it was done pretty quickly. I'm gonna take them out, wash all the cure off, and then this is where things get interesting. I saw a guy on YouTube use meat glue to make his lamb bacon, and I became obsessed with figuring out how to do it. It sounds weird, but it's actually just a natural enzyme that bonds proteins together. So even though it sounds weird, it's really just a natural occurring molecule. So I quite literally glued 2 slabs of lamb meat together so that once it was smoked and cooked, it would look like one whole piece of meat. And I might just be more of a food nerd than I thought, because I thought this was the coolest thing I've ever done in the kitchen. Once I got everything glued together, it needed to go back in the fridge for a full 24 hours uncovered to form that crust that the smoke in a smoker really likes to stick to. I almost always cook with a meat thermometer, so for this I'm going to put one on each side just so I don't overcook it or undercook it. You want to cook it at 200 until the internal temp reaches 160 degrees. I pulled it off just a little before, and I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to let it come up to that temperature while sitting on the counter. Then once it drops all the way back to room temperature, I'm going to stick it in the fridge because cutting cold meat is so much easier. And I didn't know how this was going to turn out, but look how pretty that is. That's just unbelievable. I'm nerding out. And of course, I'm using my handy dandy meat slicer. You can definitely just use a super sharp knife, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. I experimented with some thicker cuts and some thinner cuts, and it just worked out that the thinner cuts cooked up better, which is a way different cut than I would do with my pork bacon. I like my pork bacon cut super thick. Anyway, fried it up, tasted it, tasted good. It was perfection. Definitely recommend lamb bacon.